aha Ghanatube so modofo snowy masan so atenase ensem ahodo a ekoso ewo omega ni mu no onsa beka ebusiafo matenase sei no makwakoje emwa bebre de apa na intempa no ye hakotie nia ekoso ewo omani ne ba ebusiafo me demo atwaso.
If you're seeing that backdrop behind me, it seeks to suggest one thing. There's a latest poll by Global Info Analytics, which amongst many other things says that the NPP will have a torrid time, possibly beating some of the front runners in the NDC's flag bearership race, according to the latest Global Info Analytics poll. Executive Director of Global Info Analytics, Musa Dankwa, says the findings, despite raising concerns about the chances of Julius Deborah, could change with time.
It's no conclusion. It's the data. It's the polling data.
Okay.
So if you put it like that, it sounds like we have done some calculations and put some numbers out there. Okay. No, these are a simple count of people who said they will vote for Julius Deborah or they will vote for Bawumia if that is the race they have. And what we have given you is exactly what they told us. If you look at the data we have published today, with the exception of Julius Deborah, all the other NDC candidates, the four or the other three, are defeating MPPs or they are leading MPP candidates, both Bawumia and Canada, Japan. And that's what we have right now. We don't know how these numbers will change in the future, but we'll be there to measure it if it does.
You heard Musa Dankwa speak to the numbers. Well, the latest survey published by Global Info Analytics shows the Chief of Staff, Julius Deborah, as the only possible NDC flag bearer candidate not preferred against the two leading NPP aspirants, Kennedy Japan and Dr. Mahamadou Bawumia, when all other NDC candidates are paired with the NPP aspirants. The NDC candidates are preferred. This finding comes with more than 3 years to the next election, but raises questions about the direction the governing party may want to consider in deciding who to lead it into the 2028 elections. And we're going to take a look now at what the findings are. But you heard Musa Dankwa as well speak to the fact that a lot of this could change in the lead up to the elections as well. And so here's what it is. And we're looking at the two leading candidates in terms of the NPP's presidential primary. We're starting off with the former vice president and the flag bearer in the 2024 general election. So paired against Johnson Asiedu Nketia, Mr. Asiedu Nketia is getting 50%. Dr. Bawumia is getting 45%. Against the current Chief of Staff, Julius Deborah, he's getting 50%. That gets him into the Jubilee House if elections were held in today, and today were election day, and Julius Deborah is getting 46%. Against the current Finance Minister, Dr. Kasiel Atuforsen, Dr. Bawumia is at a 44%, Atuforsen at 53%, and then the man who has been described as most preferred in this latest poll by Global Info Analytics, Haruna Idrisu, who is the current education minister as well, he leads with 55% as against Dr. Bawumia's 42%. The rest of the votes go to other candidates. Now let's look at Kennedy Ohene Japan, who is also in the running for that flag bearership race in the NPP, and him against Johnson Asiedu Nketia. He's getting 44% in terms of respondents, persons who spoke to Global Info Analytics or respondents in this latest survey. 44% said they would prefer him, but 51% said they would prefer Johnson Asiedu Nketia. Against Julius Deborah, he's hovering around 49%. The Honorable the Chief of Staff, Julius Deborah, at 46%. And then against the incumbent or the current Finance Minister, we see Dr. Atuforsen doing 54%, he's doing 42%. And then against Haruna Idrisu, he's maintained his 55% preferred rate, stays there, and then 41% for Kennedy Japan as well. And so this is what the poll by Global Info Analytics is saying, and we can bring you a bit more in terms of other stories right now.
No more stories.
Oh, I absolutely
it's time for us to go, but that's an interesting outlook on the aspirant race.
Yeah.
It hasn't started for the NDC, but you know, the grapevines have been whispering.
Yeah.
And, you know, and on Sunday, I spoke with the Agric minister on, you know, what I had heard.
Did he make known his intention?
Well, I can say this, that he is interested. But
everybody is interested. I mean, a question was asked of Johnson Asedun-Ketia, who says, anybody who enters a political party, your ultimate goal is to lead the party.
I mean, and that makes sense, because when I asked him, you know, the grapevines are whispering that come, you know, when it's time for the NDC to go for their presidential aspirant race, his name will pop up. Well, he said, salt does not admire itself. If that's what the people are saying, then it could be the case, right?
Who doesn't want to be president?
But his focus now is the Agric ministry. And so, I mean, I look forward to a time when his name also appears there.
His name is a part of it, but just in terms of the top runners,
absolutely,
he hasn't fallen in that line. And
yet.
These are very early days.
Very.
How well you perform at your ministry, how well the government will perform, all of that will lend credence to what this outlook will look like. And there's an understanding, a justifiable understanding as to why the Honorable Kesela Tuforsin is there. The economy has started off on a very good footing. Immediately, there was a term Ato is forcing, and that brings him into the front burners in terms of the conversation as well.
Absolutely. And that's for me sounds like an underdog who is really coming up strong, because tell me 4 years ago, Kesela Tuforsin wouldn't have been a presidential candidate material for you.
Good work done to an extent. 9 months, and already people are beginning to ask questions. If he's doing such a good job here, what will happen if we handed the seat or the keys to him? These are the sort of permutations that will begin to come up when you perform at your sector.
Absolutely. But those with the real challenge now is the NPP side, because they have an election coming up in 2026, in January of 2026.
31st of January 2026.
And you know, these numbers, if they take seriously, then it's likely that their best bet is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
Even with that, based on these numbers, still doesn't look great for the party. But again, these are early days, very, very early days, and a lot could change between now and December 7, 2028.
Absolutely. And look at Kennedy, putting up such strong numbers in that survey.
And so it remains to be seen what the Ghanaian voter will say on that day. But obviously, in terms of governance, that will play we'll have a lot to say in terms of how the perception of Ghanaian voters will be in the lead up to the elections. Indeed. But it's time for us to run out of the studio. I am Mawena Egbeta.
And I am Kameni Amano.
Yo, ya have got here and some no about bit me at the comments about comment section. Measure I can kind na at the amount of me. I will say aha Ghanatube so in some air by or my Ghana. Nina no on sa Erica on subscribe na face so found sa emi notification bell no so send your bear in sem no ye de tuma na wenya no entem pa so sisi ade makram.